Cafe networking promotes successful business experts. I'm Tom Rioch, connecting people throughout the world from my podcast studio in Brazil. Joining us today from Voorhess, New Jersey, Stacey Chazin, leadership coach for introverts, founder of I Factor Leadership, speaker and author. So Stacey, how can introverts build powerful, genuine relationships and leverage their quiet influence?
Tom, that's my favorite thing to talk about. So the key to introverts building deep relationships, expanding their influence and being more impactful in the workplace and beyond is tapping into their introverted strengths. So one of the biggest things I teach my coaching clients is you don't have to pretend to be an extrovert. And what you really need to do is identify and embrace your introverted strengths. And that's the best way to be an effective introverted leader. That's the way you're going to get recognized for your leadership as an introvert. And whether you know you're an introvert just because you know yourself well, or because you took a Myers-Briggs type indicator assessment, or MBTI, which is the world's most popular personality assessment. But the key is identifying what your strengths are as an introvert. That's where you start. And for introverts, those include being planful. We're very good at preparing. We're very good at doing our research. And we tend to be highly empathetic. Introverts are empathetic and have high levels of emotional intelligence. And when I say all these things, what I'm suggesting is you identify what those introverted strengths are in yourself as an individual. And here's how you can use your introverted strengths to network and build relationships. One is introverts do well in smaller settings. So you want to look for conferences or work groups, whether they're in person or virtual, where you have opportunities to engage with people in a smaller setting, whether it's one-on-one or in a small group. That's the first thing.
What I've seen, and that's the way it is today, it's a lot of one-on-one.
Absolutely. And I even recommend to my clients when an introvert goes to a conference, and conferences can be overwhelming for introverts, identify 3 people who you want to meet at that conference. Again, whether it's in person or ahead of time, in person or virtually, you want to identify 3 people to meet each day of the conference. And you make a list of those people. So if you're going to be there for 3 days, it's 9 people. Anyone can generally go onto a conference app and see who's going to be at the conference ahead of time.
That's whether you're introvert or not. That's something everybody should do.
Right. Absolutely. It's more helpful for introverts who aren't as comfortable engaging in small talk and just walking up to any old group of people and chit-chatting about the weather or who won last night's game, right? So prepare ahead of time, identify the 3 people who you want to meet each day, do your research. So use platforms like LinkedIn or go to search for the person on their find their website, their Facebook page, wherever it is that they have an online presence so that you can prepare. The next thing is identify networking goals for yourself. So it's not just I want to meet 3 new people each day, but what is it that I want to get out of all this networking at a conference? And what is it that I want to get out of each conversation? So you're meeting Jane, and you know that Jane is an expert in X. So you want to come to Jane, and the reason for meeting her is you want to get her advice on a certain topic. Or there's someone else who works for a company that you're interested in working for. Your objective for that conversation might be to introduce yourself and begin learning about the organization with an eye toward an interview, finding out about job opportunities there. So it's setting up what your objectives are. And introverts are very good at this, being planful, being structured.
Well, I find that too. I think the research part that you mentioned, the 2 things that really stand out from what you've already said is the research and empathy.
Yep. And those are things that
researching today, Chat GPT, it's all sort of become automatic. But empathy, it's hard to buy. You can't get it. It doesn't come out of a box.
That's exactly right. And it's actually one of the characteristics that make introverts very strong leaders, that we're highly empathetic. So we're good at forming deep relationships with the people we work with, right? You might not have a close relationship with 500 people, but you're very good at connecting deeply with people who are on your team. or in smaller groups of people.
Right.
So this is a really important leadership strength for introverts.
And to the point you said of going to conferences or wherever, that research could help you find those nuggets that most persons aren't aware of, or even the speaker presenter has never been asked or seen. It's just that simple smile and a follow-up of some minute nuggets that's there.
Right. And so not only is it better for you as an introvert because you're not feeling drained by the need to collect 50 business cards from a conference cocktail hour, let's say, but the engagements you're having, you're going to be able to go deeper and make a better impression on people because they're going to see that you prepared. They're going to see you know who they are, and that you've come prepared with talking points, with information that's going to be valuable to them as well.
Mm-hmm. So what I get from what you're saying, that if you're an introvert, you shouldn't feel like you're wrong. You should actually feel that you're right, and everybody else is wrong.
Well, what I would say is, and this holds true for a lot of, I'd say for most things in life, and that's when you lean into who you authentically are,
right?
Lean into your strengths, the best of who you are, rather than pretending to be someone or something you're not. You're going to be more successful. You're going to feel better about it. You're going to come off more genuinely. You're going to have a greater impact, because trying to be someone else or do something the way someone else does it, when that's just not aligned with how you're wired as an introvert.
Right. And not being the same. It's really showing what makes you different, what makes you unique.
That's exactly right.
Very good. So how can our listeners find you?
Your listeners can find me at ifactorleadership.com. That's where they can go to learn about how I work with introverted professionals as a coach. If you're listening to this right after we spoke today, I also have an on-demand course open that's called the Introvert's Leadership Formula that walks you through powerful communication strategies, how to prevent burnout for introverts at work, and then literally how to sit down and ask for your next raise or promotion as an introvert. And the current cohort closes November 1st, 2024, but it'll be open again in early 25. So, and you can find out all about that at ifactorleadership.com. And I'm also on LinkedIn.
Very good. I'm looking at your LinkedIn profile right now, and I see up there on the banner, empowering introverts to lead with integrity, which seems to be a word that's overlooked pretty much today, influence and impact.
Yes. Yes.
That's the integrity part. I think if you can connect that to the empathy part, is the game winner. It's a game changer.
Yeah, and I use that in two senses of the word. One is certainly being upstanding and genuine. And also, I use it there to speak to the fact that you want to have integrity in terms of being true to who you are.
Right.
Again, embrace your introverted strengths. About half the world is introverted, but a very small percentage of our leaders in corporate America and even in the nonprofit world are introverted. So, and I think a big reason for that is that introverts are not comfortable showcasing their gifts, tapping into their strengths, and instead we either stay quiet or we unsuccessfully try to be extroverted, and that just doesn't work for us.
Well, so, I agree with you there. It's not, when we talk about comfort, everybody reaches a comfort level on either side of the coin.
Yep.
All right. But I think what you're showing is learning how to adjust to what you have as the skill, and we all have the skills. And there are people looking for those skills, and those skill set's another person. So it's a win-win. Okay.
Absolutely. Power on, introverts. That's what I tell folks. Tap into your power.
Well, congratulations on what you do and how you do it.
Thank you so much, Tom. It was great speaking with you today.
Okay, and for our listeners, again, more information about Stacey Chazin. It's Stacey, her last name Chazin. Chazin. Find her on LinkedIn and ifactorleadership.com. Cafe Networking is brought to us by Focus Semi Market Intelligence, an agricultural market research specialist in Brazil. More information at focusmi.com. Talk to Tom, talk to the world. Thanks for listening. Till the next time here at Cafe and Networking Podcast.